All right, I know we're in October, but I'm telling you right now, listen to what I have to say. Watch out for this movie and watch out for Cate Blanchett's performance. She is going to get nominated for the Oscar and she's going to win. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'll tell you why I think about all this right now. So if you're like me, and what's up everyone, Renee LOWKEY GEEK here. This is a fun season to be in. This is a fun time of the year to be in because it's Oscar movie season. You can tell because there's a lot of stuff coming out. New York Film Festival is halfway through being completed. Got to see a lot of great stuff so far. And we're seeing now the big performances that we're expecting to see that will be considered for Oscar awards next year. Tar is a movie that I was not really familiar with when the year started, nor was it one of my most anticipated. But as the weeks were approaching and started hearing about the movie and I started reading more about it, the more I was really intrigued by it, mainly because of Cate Blanchett. And she is like one of my favorite actresses right now. Also, interesting enough, it's because of Todd Field, because we haven't heard from Todd Field in 16 years. His last movie, Little Children, that came out in 2006, was his last movie. What's great about this movie is not only is it something that he directed, but it's also a movie that he wrote. I was able to attend a nice screening of this movie at the Museum of Moving Image, where they did a little talk and discussion at the end. And he said he's been wanting to do this type of movie for a while, and he particularly and specifically wrote this movie for Cate Blanchett to star in, which is really fascinating. And it shows. It really shows because her performance is phenomenal. It's haunting. It's very, very powerful. And it really draws you to pay attention throughout this whole entire movie, even though it's a little long. The movie clocks in at roughly around 2 hours and 38 minutes, which for a movie like this may sound pretty long, but you are, or at least for me, I found myself fully engaged all throughout. I mean, I never would have thought that a movie about a conductor, musical composer would be as interesting as I found it to be, but it's mainly because of the writing of Todd Field and the acting of Cate Blanchett and her co-star Nina Hoss. So basically the gist of the movie is you have this legendary classical music conductor, and you go through her journey as she is approaching the recording of this special concert performance that's supposed to elevate her to the next level of her career. As you go through her preparation and all that stuff like that, you get to live her life the way she lives it and the way she's going through things. And certain things happen and transpire along the way. In essence, it is a movie about gender roles and how, certain genders are considered more powerful and all that. That's what you get in kind of a sense of in the beginning. But really, it is about the journey of this individual who's very manipulative and in a very bold and brave move on Todd Field's part. The movie is about cancel culture and how it is viewed through the lens of a female who is the one doing the bad things and getting herself into this trouble and causing all these ripples in her career and in her life, where at the end she pretty much kind of loses everything, loses her prestige, loses her place in this industry, in this profession of hers, and is resorted to kind of pick things back up and start from scratch. Interesting note that Cate Blanchett said during the movie discussion I attended, she kind of looked at it more as not only is it about a movie that portrays an individual who is falling apart and pretty much losing everything because of her own actions, but it's a movie about a character's humility. This person was at pretty much the epitome and peak of her career. She was looked at as this very powerful and well-respected classical conductor, and she basically had the power to do whatever she wanted. But she went through her life pretty much with that persona as if she was regal and queen-like. The way she treated people was very questionable, very harsh, very cold. You saw that when the way she treated her assistant or the way she treated her students in a classroom, pretty much not really realizing the way she was being so negative towards a lot of them. It's because she has this air to her, this kind of like uppity, nose stuck up in the air attitude about her profession and what she is passionate about. The way she treats her partner. The only time that you see her basically in a position where she's vulnerable and kind of showing maybe what's her true inner self is the times that she spent with her daughter. Because it's her daughter that kind of gives her that emotional support that she needs throughout the entire movie. And you see that. But what happens when you strip all of this stuff away? The power's gone. The support is gone. The recognition is stripping away because of a scandal that has transpired behind the scenes and that she was heavily involved in. Now you have this person who has nothing. And at the end of the movie, she ends up totally someplace else doing her job, but doing it in a way that she is not accustomed to. This may be considered spoiler territory, so be careful moving forward here. Just skip towards the next section before I ruin something for you. But she went from a classical music conductor and then moving to the Philippines, where she is now conducting an orchestra based off of video game music to a crowd of cosplayers and all that, So that is definitely a huge dip in the trajectory of her career. But that is, I guess, where you would consider the humility, the kind of, this is what I have to do now to start over. And hopefully she's learned from her mistakes and all that, so that maybe she could be a little bit more humble as she tried to work her way up. This movie would not have worked if it wasn't for Cate Blanchett's performance. I'm telling you, she was very much demanding on screen, meaning demanding of your attention, because she draws you in every time she's on there, every time she speaks, every time she does something. It was just a phenomenal performance. The last time I saw her was in Nightmare Alley last year, and even in that small role, she really drew me into that character. And she's always done that with all of her roles that she's been in, but this is really full, clear, and centered, where she is the main center point here, and it is just fascinating watching her portray this character, and mixed in with the directing of Todd Fields and co-acting with Nina Hoss there, who is her partner, who in a way, you kind of are watching this character of Lydia Tár through the eyes of her partner as she is going through this roller coaster of emotions and trajectory in her career and her life, in a way that, it's very haunting, seeing this character kind of break down and at certain points losing her mind and all that, but it's just overall enthralling and just such a wonderful performance all around. Another thing I want to really call out here is the sound design. The sound design was done excellently and brilliantly throughout the movie. How you'll hear like little sounds and beats on the left side, the right side. I know I just did that opposite, but you know what I mean. How things could be extremely silent at certain points, after a transition, or you get to see Cate Blanchett's character of Lydia Tár kind of haunted by maybe her guilt of what's happening, or maybe the effects of the way she treats people as she's, waking up in the middle of the night, being terrorized by these sounds, being terrorized by these visions in her dreams. The way that the sound plays with you and is kind of like a really interesting like audio and visual kind of experience as you're watching this movie. So definitely watching this in the theater is going to give you a great experience versus probably streaming it at home. Overall, I think this was a brilliant movie. I'm so glad I got a chance to watch it, and I highly recommend, if you are a fan of Cate Blanchett, if you are a fan of Todd Field's movies. I know it's been a while, but maybe you're like, oh, I've been wondering where this guy went, and oh, he's back, I gotta check this out. But if you are just a fan of watching brilliant performances on screen, and if you're a fan of classical music, this is a great and perfect movie for you. I think you will definitely enjoy it and definitely experience a lot watching this movie. And it again amazes me how a movie like this, the way it's put together and kind of what the subject matter is, just makes it so fascinating to me. Of course, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter at all what I think. What matters most is what all of you think. Right now, this movie is playing limitedly in New York and LA, and I think it's going to be releasing in more states and probably nationwide in a couple weeks. So hopefully you'll get a chance to watch this movie if you're looking forward to it. But if you happen to have already seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie. What are some of the things that maybe I have missed while watching this movie, or what are some of the things that you personally felt attracted to? And if you haven't seen this movie yet, are you interested to check it out? Let me know. As always, if you're brand new to this channel and you just happen to come across this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I appreciate all of you watching and checking this video out. If you're listening in audio format or you want to, don't forget you could find this on the LOWKEY GEEK channel. Just do a search for that on your podcast platform of choice, where you could download this and many other episodes on there. Again, thank you so much for watching. Stay cool, stay classy, stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.